And welcome back to JKLIVE Live here at Citizen Television on this day that InfoTrack conducted a poll and released the best performing MPs in the country. Best performing. And guess who came out as #1? That's right, the former SONU president who was there for like 15 years or something.
Acquisition of knowledge.
Yes, with like several, he's like got like 3-4 degrees, this man. Babu Owino, Embakasi East MP, emerged as #1. And in the top 5, also Gathoni Wamushomba. She's out there in Boston, Massachusetts, joins us on Zoom. And the others in between, but it's incredible. This is the 10th year. Oh, by the way, Angela Mbito, you were saying you actually awarded certificates to these people.
Yes.
Why?
Of recognition.
Was it the first time?
It's the first time we did it. But, Jeff, the reason why we have been conducting this survey is not to shame our leaders. It's actually to do 2 things. One, as I'd mentioned before, is to make the leaders understand what it is the electorate feels or thinks about their performance. Because in many instances, what tends to happen is you campaign, you get elected, you wait 5 years, and then after 5 years, if the electorate is unhappy, they send you home.
Yep.
If they're happy with you, then they retain you. And that would be the best practice. However, our main aim is to ensure that there is this interface and there is this, knowledge that both parties can, give to each other in terms of what I expect from you as the electorate, and therefore what it is that you should be delivering to me if I am, a member of your constituency. So therefore, in a nutshell, what this tool is in essence meant to do is to ensure that within this 5-year period, you as a leader actually give me that which you promised. And you're giving it to me because you have monies, funds that are from my tax that should be dispensed in a manner which is commensurate to the needs of the people that live within my locality and myself. So if you wait 5 years and you're not happy with your elected leader, and maybe it is because they're not expensing the funds as they're meant to, because that was one of the things they mentioned. The key driver, one of the main drivers of determining how they rate their elected leader is how funds are actually used and managed. So if you get your CDF as a leader, as an MP, or as a women rep, or as governor, and you actually don't dispense those funds in a transparent and accountable manner, it is highly unlikely that you're going to get a good performance rating.
Babu, what was that kind of thing? I just thought something, I just almost forgot. What is your next move? What do you want to gain from this?
Jeff, I'm not working so that I can determine my next move. I have a contract with the great people of Embakasi East constituency, and I call it Embakasi East Republic, to work for them, to deliver for them. Because I know, Jeff, that if I don't deliver for my people, then I will never forgive myself, because I have the responsibility to work for them. My next move is not the main issue of concern here. Why? Because I cannot move to the next level before I finish the level that I am at. And I bring you back, again, I told you that by the end of the night you will be saved. I bring you back to the Bible. Jeff, in the book of Matthew, 20:26.
Matthew, Mark,
sorry, in
John.
the book of Luke, 19:11-27. The Bible says that there was a master who had servants. Then the master was going to be crowned a king in another area. Before he left, he called all his servants. 1, he gave 5 minas. 2, he gave 3 minas. The third one, he gave 1 mina. Then he went was crowned a king, came back. When he came back, he called his servants and asked them, guys, that which I gave you, what did you do with it? The first servant came and said, the 5 that you gave me, I invested, here are 10. That servant was given 10 cities to manage by the king, the master. The second one said, you gave me the minas, here are 5. I multiplied it, I invested, here are 5. Was given 5 cities to manage. The third one came back and said, Master, I knew you, and I knew that you were a bad person, and I knew that you would come back and ask for your mina. I went and buried it. Here it is, take it. Then the master said that you're a bad servant and did away with him, sent him away. That is where we get the phrase that even the little that you are given shall be taken away from you and given to those who have.
What's your point?
My point is simple, Jeff, that I must deliver where I am first so that the people of Embakasi East, the people of Nairobi, and Kenyans can see the work that I've done and promote me if they deem it.
Promote you to what?
If they deem it fit.
Promote you to what?
As at now, Jeff,
what do you want to be?
I'm overqualified in this nation. My age mates are already presidents. Look at Burkina Faso. The gentleman is 36 years old.
Yes.
He's already a president.
Yes.
So I'm overqualified to be a president of the Republic of Kenya. I have all the instruments necessary. Number 1, the political acumen is available. Number 2, the passion and the energy I have. And the third thing that I have is the intellect. And the most important thing that I have, the person that is most important, is the Almighty God. Therefore, Jeff, I'm overqualified to be a president, I'm overqualified to be a governor, and I'm overqualified to be a member of the National Assembly.
Overqualified?
Overqualified. For now, for today, the most important thing, the most important and urgent thing is to work for my people.
By the way, that story about Luke, the guy with the 1 bag of whatever it was, that bag was given to the guy with the 10, who made the 10. You know that?
Yes.
You didn't tell me that part, but I remember it.
Now you know where it will be taken from and given to.
Exactly. Made Gathoni wa Mushomba, 5 years ago, you were ranked as one of the worst performing MPs, or was it women? You were like, yeah, number 47. You were way, way down. What happened? What changed?
Jeff, I was a fresher, and you know, the problems with Kenyans is that sometimes we trust newcomers into responsibilities that are not well oriented into. And if you look at what Angela Mbithos has announced as the top performing MPs, the top 10, look at the kind of leaders we are speaking about. We are speaking about people who are serving their 3rd term, their 2nd term, like myself. Babu is serving his 2nd term. I mean, look at Dende Nyoro serving the 2nd term. The 1st term is a term of goofs, you know, a lot of goofs. And I think this is a lesson that voters in Kenya should actually adopt. That if you want work done, give the experienced the opportunity to do it. And also look at the ages. I mean, there are some ages that it's difficult for an individual to implement and to pick up new habits. So I am so excited that the kind of people that have been rated as the best performing, they are people who have the energy, they are people who are young, they are people who have a future, they are people who really have something to put on the table. And I'm very excited about the fact that as a woman, serving in a single constituency, because previously I was serving as a woman representative for a great county called Kiambu that have 12 constituencies with over 1.5 million Kenyans living in one county. So it becomes a little bit more difficult for you to concentrate and for the results to be seen, because Kenyans expect a micromanagement way of leadership where you're able to know which child requires bursary, which home got burnt up, which village has a problem with electricity, and therefore handling 12 constituencies, for heaven's sake, with the kind of resources that women reps are given, it becomes almost impossible. But I'm very happy that Angela Mbithos and Infotrack report is not only based on the popularity, but it's also based on how accountable, how much integrity have you embedded in your work. Just a few days ago, I'm sure you saw a report from the Auditor General's office, showcases which constituencies can account to the last penny of the money entrusted with their area MP and the area leadership. Yeah. And therefore, this is not just about what you have been able to do, but it is also about the values you carry as you do your work as a member of parliament.
Absolutely.
You asked me, what am I up to?
Yeah.
I'm up to what Githunguri people want with me. Like Babu has said, I'm also very qualified, very, very qualified. I am pursuing my PhD, but that does not mean that I'm a better leader than any other who doesn't have. That does not mean that the many degrees I carry with me make me a better leader. I am guided by the book of 1 Peter 5 that says, God has given you a flock to govern and take care of. But it is not a must that you take care of the flock God has entrusted with you. It is about whether you are willing. I am ever willing, based on where I come from, based on how I was brought up, based on the challenges I went through for me to become who I am today. My business is to continue serving in honesty, in humility, and in understanding.
Do you want to be governor one day, Made?
I want to be president one day.
Whoa.
I'll be the first woman president in Kenya one day.
Wow.
But if the people of Githunguri decide that they would want to elevate me to become a governor, so be it. If they want me to serve another term in Githunguri, I will have to sit down, Jeff, and that's what I do with my people. Even when you see me in parliament, taking firm stance in parliament over certain bills, I consult my constituents physically, not online, physically. So I'll have to go back to Githunguri. I will have my forums with my people. I'll ask them what they want with me. If they want to elevate me, I will be willing. If they want to make me president, I'll become one president who is going to be very effective. I am very qualified to become president. I'm very qualified to become governor. I'm qualified to continue serving as a member of parliament, and any other opportunity that is available that will give me the platform to practice my principles of leadership in humility and in God-fearing.
Well done. Okay. All right. Stay tuned for that announcement. In the meantime, Angela, a lot of people are asking right now. They want to know how their MPs are performing. Where do they go with info? Can they go somewhere and get that info? Exactly.
They can actually just go to our website, www.infotrackresearch.com, and they will be able to download the document. We're also compiling a write-up, because this particular study or survey is hived off a larger study, which is the County Track Performance Index. So when we actually look at the performance of the counties based on the 14 devolved functions, which is really the primary product, we then, because we are looking at counties, it gives us an opportunity to also interrogate how all the other small administrative units are doing. So the constituency up till the ward level. And indeed, therefore, if you wanted to look at, is yours Kiamba?
Yeah.
So your county is Kikuyu? Is Kiambu?
Kiambu.
Your county is Kiambu.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get a report on Kiambu County, that is also available. And you can actually see how your governor is doing and the county is doing. We sat with the governors yesterday, and it was a very good sitting. Because one of the things that came out of it was the sharing of best practice. We shared the information with the top performing governors. This particular tool is not meant to shame anybody. This is why when you ask who is the bottom MP or bottom, I can't tell you, because we're not going to release that information. But certainly that individual can now, if they so will, look at the best practice. The best practice is Gathoni. The best practice is Babu. The best practice is Dindi, is Salasia, and there are many others. And you can actually then say, what are they doing in terms of their management of CDF? What else could they be doing that is endearing them to their constituents? And we found out yesterday the top performing governor, who's from Muranga, Irungu Kangata, actually mentioned that when he does his benchmarking, he doesn't even just limit himself to benchmarking, best practice performance with other governors. He goes to MPs. If he feels that there's an MP who's actually shining in a specific area and he knows that that, method is working in terms of delivering to the electorate, he will go there and find out what they're doing and try to replicate what is happening. So the import of this tool is also to ensure that as we politic, because Kenya is a country of politicking, we appreciate best practice. And we say, if today Embakasi East is the best performing, the MP is best performing and the residents are happy, can we go and interrogate what it is they have done? What exactly is happening there? And how can that be replicated in your constituency? Egalitarianism is very critical. It is enshrined in our constitution, such that every single individual, as Babu and Gathoni have mentioned, quoting Bible verses, I will quote numbers, but every single Kenyan deserves to have good leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me something. You said Irungu Kangata was #1?
Yes.
Is Sakaja in the top 10?
No. I mean, Nairobi County is not in the top 10.
What does that say about you? If the people say you're the man, are you going to run against it? Because the other day, Baba, your Baba, looks like he endorsed Sakaja as, mtoto wangu or, kijana wangu. He's like, he's a new kid on the block. How did that make you feel?
Jeff, I'm happy for my brother. Sakaja is a young man like myself. We might differ only ideologically, but nothing personal. And we differ because I'm also a resident of Nairobi who expects services, just like any other Nairobian, who pays taxes in Nairobi and should be served by the governor as any other Nairobian. Jeff, Sakaja being a young person is being an embarrassment to the young people in this nation because of what has been done. Not Babu saying, several research firms have ranked Sakaja in bottom 10. That tells you that something must be done. As a leader in Nairobi, I must push him hard enough to ensure that he delivers to Nairobians, because he promised Nairobians and he must deliver. When Baba endorsed Sakaja, as you are saying it, then there's nothing also wrong with that. Babu Owino has been endorsed by the Almighty God and Kenyans. And you can see by the results that we were just shown, ranked the top. But however, if a prodigal son comes back home, we will slaughter. Even if we have a squirrel at home, we will slaughter for him. We will welcome him at home.
Yeah. Are you going to?
The most important thing is, Jeff, is that Sakaja, being Baba's son, as you're putting it, might not mean well for the same dad. You remember the story of the farmer who was trying to rescue the snake. The snake beat him and killed him. In 2007, Sakaja was in Team Kibaki, Vijana na Kibaki. Never voted for Baba, never campaigned for Baba, therefore never wanted Baba to be the president. In 2013, Sakaja was the TNA chairman. Never voted for Baba, never campaigned for Baba, voted for Uhuru, and therefore never wanted Baba to be the president. In 2017, he was vying for Senate in Nairobi, in Jubilee Party, never voted for Baba, campaigned for Uhuru, never wanted Baba to be the president. In 2022, vying for governor Nairobi, never campaigned for Baba, never voted for Baba, and voted for Uhuru, and therefore never wanted Baba to be the president. And I'm telling you today, if Baba had a candidate that Ruto was supporting, or rather is supporting for AUC chairperson, Sakaja would have campaigned for that candidate, not Baba, because he's never liked Baba. So you should not like the neighbor's child more than your own child.
Tell me something. Are you going to head to Addis? Are you going to go and support Baba this week?
I love Baba. I've always loved Baba. Baba is my leader. I've campaigned for Baba. I was being killed with Baba in Soy. The people who are being stoned at Soi constituency was Baba, Junet, and myself when we went for the funeral of Mzee Kibor. We were stoned. The windscreen of the chopper that we were using was broken. We were being killed. If that stone would have touched the pilot, we would be no more, because that chopper would have come down and would be no more. It is only Babu who never allowed President Ruto to campaign in Embakasi East constituency. It is only Babu who was abducted for 3 days, never to be traced. My wife came out to look for me in the dark. Since when did women go out for war? Nobody was talking about it. Remember when I was elected in 2017, taken to High Court, election petition, election nullified, told to go back for elections, went to Court of Appeal. In addition to that, was taken up to the Supreme Court. All because of my love for Baba, and that love will never stop. And therefore, I'm really praying that Baba wins the AU chairperson, because Baba deserves this seat. Baba sacrificed a lot. Some people might not agree with him, especially now, but not everybody. But as his son, I want him to succeed, because Baba has really tried. He's gone, he's contested 5 times, won 4 times, but unfortunately not declared as the president. But because of that, I want Baba.
You said he won also 4 times. How do you know that?
Because it was clear. There was one time that election was even nullified at the Supreme Court. And every other time, it tells you that, what tells you that Baba always wins? Because every other time the president that is running the nation looks for Baba after. That tells you that numbers belong to
So the handshakes
Baba.
always...
Handshakes. So,
well, okay, look,
so as
Babu,
I finish...
Babu, what if he doesn't win?
As I finish, therefore, I want Baba to win as my leader, because we've struggled with Baba. I know Baba at his strongest, at his weakest, as his last-born son. And I want Baba to win, and I'm praying that the Almighty God to help Baba to win. In the event that he doesn't win, I'm also just praying, because I'm not one of the people who will vote. It is the presidents who are going to vote. If he doesn't win, then that is how God wanted it to be. So God will let it go the way he wants it to go. But I will be in Ethiopia. Addis Ababa.
Oh, you'll be there?
I will be there in support.
When are you leaving?
I'm leaving on Friday.
For the big vote on Saturday?
To support Baba.
Nice. Governor Mushomba, your thoughts on the AU chairmanship bid? What are your thoughts?
Wacha mzee apate kazi bwana. Hey. Baba has looked for this job forever and ever to just be, you know, he just needs to be given a very nice retirement package in AU. Wacha mzee apate kazi so that he can exit the political scene and leave the new energies to occupy.
Very good. Well, and if he doesn't get it, what happens?
If he doesn't get it, he just needs to go to retire in Bondo. And we will give him a very good retirement package as an ex-prime minister. But he shouldn't come back to get into the ballot for presidential campaigns, because we have just decided we are not going to give those generations a chance. We've given them chances for over 40 years. Next election, Jeff, we are going to elect a very young president and a young woman deputy president. We are not going to allow those, you know, previous leaders who've been at it, because they are the problems of the country. They are the recycling problems of the country, and you are not going to recycle them anymore. So if he doesn't get it in the AU, he should prepare to go and retire in Bondo. And you're going to give him all the necessary support he requires to enjoy his retirement.
And you think the Gen Zs will come out and vote?
Definitely, yes, Jeff. The young people have decided that the country belongs to them. The future is their country. And therefore, they have decided to protect their future. And I'm liking the energy in the young people. I'm liking the resolve to rescue a country that is sinking. I mean, you can see the kind of activities the agencies are doing, the kind of online campaigns they are doing. Right now, we are saying, Okoa payslip, we must make sure we rescue Kenyans from, you know, the oppression of losing all the mandatory deductions to the government without accountability. And I think the Gen Zs are just doing it right, and I want to encourage them to continue because the future belongs to them. And therefore, next elections, hatutakuwa tunachagua watu kwa sababu you are a good MC, you are a good guitarist, you become an MP. Kenyans must decide whether they want guitarists in parliament. They must decide whether they want cartoonists and entertainers in parliament, or they want serious characters in parliament who can be able to be trusted with the resources of the country.
But there's nothing wrong with cartoonists and guitarists, by the way,
I am not saying something is wrong, but sometimes we make the wrong decisions. You elect somebody just because he made you laugh in a funeral service or in a wedding ceremony. You elect somebody just because he was a good guitarist. Yes. You elect somebody just because he was good in the market and shouting in the market, and you bring them in parliament.
Yes. I hear you, Mahesh. I'm going to take a break, come back. And I want to ask you, what's next? Which poll is coming up next? Because I know you're cooking something in your mind. There must be something up next, right? And, Babu, we know. You haven't convinced me about this. I know you want to be governor. I know the governor knows you want to be governor. There's no Nairobi governor who has served 2 terms. None. Kidero, Sonko, Sakaja. Is that the curse of the Nairobi governorship? I want to know after this.
I'll explain that.
Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLIVE. We're talking about the best performance.